Hello friends, I Dr. Kuldeep Mahodikar. So students, I will be presenting in this video the brief version or you can say summary of the poem Upagupta by Rabindranath Tagore. So first we will have a short introduction of Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was a poet, painter, musician and writer of short stories, novels and one-act plays. He was versatile genius. Tagore's status as a Bengali poet is unparalleled. Several of his poems have been set to music and today are a separate genre of folk music called Rabindro Sangeet. His translation or he has translated his own Bengali compositions. For example, Gitanjali. He translated Gitanjali into English and these were published in 1913 with an introduction by the great Irish poet W.B. Yeats. It won him the Nobel Prize for Literature. The following poem, Upagupta, is a typical example of Tagore's style and themes. It narrates episode from Buddhist lore. Lore means an anecdote. Anecdote means a short incident, explaining the short incident or telling a short story, or you can say in Hindi a kissa, that of the monk Upagupta, who spurns the company of a famous courtesan when she is at the zenith of her career, blessed with beauty, fame and riches, but selflessly serves her when she is abandoned by everyone else after she is old and ill. So this poem, Upagupta, establishes the impermanence of sensual pleasures, the root cause of sorrow being attachment to material pleasures, and many such philosophical and spiritual truths. Tagore achieves this through the incidents in the life of a dancing girl and her meeting with an ascetic called Upagupta. The poem presents two moments in the life of a dancing girl. The dancing girl comes to Upagupta, the disciple of Buddha, on a dark night and invites him to her house. Upagupta rejects her invitation, saying, "When the time is ripe, I will come to you." She is described as proud of her youth and beauty. The line in the poem is, "She is drunk with the wine of her youth." She meets the ascetic again after a long time when she is suffering with black pestilence and is thrown out of the city. The ascetic comes to her and consoles her. He says that it is the right time to visit her. The two moments shown in the life of the girl are the two cardinal moments. Cardinal means the main moments of the poem, the principal, the main poem, main moments you can say in her life, two important phases you can say of one's life. It is the inner as well as outer life of the dancing girl. The two meetings are highly symbolic. The description of nature adds to it. The description of nature on her first meeting with the ascetic, the sky is dark without stars and with lightning and storm. Though it is a dark night, the dancing girl is bright with her jewels shining like stars. Though she carries a light, she is in darkness, metaphorically, that is, she is ignorant. The ascetic doesn't need such a light because he has been the inner light. Inner light, the poet describes him sleeping in darkness. Light and darkness are used quite symbolically and ironically here. On her second meeting, the sky is bright with full moon, whereas her life is dark with sorrow being stricken with black pestilence. The darker side of life is shown here. Her very statement during her first meeting with Upagupta, the dusty earth is not a fit bed for you, anticipates her own future condition, of which she is ignorant. A sannyasi knows that everything returns to the dusty earth The body and the palaces erected on the earth are also subject to decay. The base of the rampart is explained there. The line is there, the base of the rampart. During a second meeting with the ascetic, she is seen lying down on the same dusty earth. In the first meeting, she steps on the breast of the ascetic, while in the second it said that she lay at his feet. How her has taken an unexpected turn, how her life has taken unexpected turn is well described in the poem. The poem depicts the inner transformation of the dancing girl. Once she was proud of her body and her beauty, but she comes to know that it is also subject to decay like any other thing in nature. But there is something which remains constant, unaltered, unchanged by nature or its challenges. She discovers the spiritual truth. The ascetic remains the same in both the meetings. He is unchanged. He is not at all attached to worldly pleasures. He is aware of the happy and sad sides of life. That is why his action is described as austerely beautiful. It should be noted that the ascetic asks the girl to go on her way, go on your way, and not on his way. He does not force a path on her. This is the basic feature of Buddha's teaching. When the ascetic says, when the time is right, it doesn't refer to the right time for him but for her. Only when she realizes the impermanence of material pleasures from her own bitter experiences, the time will be ripe for her. Only then she will understand what is real and what is unreal. One discovers oneself only when one is free of delusions. Earlier she came to him as to any other attractive man. She was so proud of her youth that she could not see his spiritual beauty. It is in the second meeting that she finds it. The poem is rich with beautiful imagery. The people are always after spring, that is, they are after material pleasures. They approach the girl when she is young and beautiful and desert her. They left her, they leave her when she has lost her charm. The young ascetic is described as walking in the lonely street. People are not interested in spiritual truth. Tagore shows the impermanence of youth and physical beauty in the poem and the essence of love in today's age of instant messaging and online breakups. Upagupta is a disciple of Buddha and goes from one place to another. He is sleeping in a small town when a dancing girl wakes him up and requests him to sleep at her home. Upagupta refuses and tells her, I will visit you when the time is right. In the beginning I have explained it. A year later, and again travel to the same place, Upagupta finds the dancing girl lying on the ground outside the town, having sores all over her body, and shunned by the townsfolk. Shunned means she is deserted. He applies balm on her body, and when asked who he was, he replies, the time has come to visit you and I am here. So in this way, the poem gives the message how there is the impermanence of youth and physical beauty in the world, and whatever matters in this age of materialistic things, that you should be spiritually very strong and you should be constant in your life. There should be no diversions in your life. Thanks students for listening silently to this video. You listen carefully by using your headphones so that you can again and again understand the words which I have expressed, and try to jot down each and every word so that again you will understand the meaning of the poem. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe my channel on YouTube. Thanks once again.